All right, Grant, pre-show shenanigans. This is probably gonna be a short one, but I thought that it was important, especially for the Black Eyed Peas generation of us, of listeners,
Fair,
of us.
fair.
Um,
Ears already perked up. All
yeah,
right.
everybody, especially your Black Eyed Peas generation, or you know what, millennials could be in here too. The Dark Knight. Everybody knows the Dark Knight.
Oh,
Everybody's
of
seen the
course.
Dark Knight. Grant, Warner Brothers is officially producing the Batmobile from that movie. You can officially buy that. It's $3 million.
Who
They will
manufactures it?
Warner Brothers. Like they have their
So,
own exclusive
okay.
manufacturing group. It is fully equipped with like smoke
So there's
screens,
going to be a
all that
Warner
stuff.
Bros. Logo on these
No,
Batmobiles.
no.
Okay.
That's I don't know. I saw a clip
We
of
don't
it.
know those details.
Didn't see
We'll,
the
we'll get into
details of
those.
that, but it is street legal. It has all the screens and everything on the inside. It has smoke screens. I don't believe it comes with weapons, so that part did get taken away. But
Yeah, that
um,
that dips the value of the car for
maybe a
sure.
little bit. But yeah, no, that just made me think about GTA and was like, this is something that you would buy in Grand Theft Auto, $3 million car.
Yep.
Yeah, buy your own Batmobile for $3 million.
Yeah, if I can remember the last time that I was playing GTA, you certainly can buy like a tank for like 18 million in the game. Just go driving down Sunset Boulevard in your
Yeah,
tank.
I
Uh,
would not put it past. I would not put it past LA for you to go drive down PCH like tomorrow, and you're gonna just see a Batmobile on it. Like,
this is going to be a
or,
side, a quick side tangent, but the next GTA video game, I'm hearing Everett that's the last GTA game Rockstar is going to make. I've
well, it
heard
took them
that,
11 years, so I wouldn't be
but
surprised.
but they've already spent 11 years working on it. I don't think the game's going to come out till like Christmas time 2026. So it's going to be 13 years of development. It has like the entire South Florida, Miami area as a map. Everett, I'm not lying when I say if the last GTA game, which came out in 2013, by the way, guys, okay, Vernon Davis was still getting smacked by Cam Chancellor on an biannual basis when this game first released. Keep that in mind, people. So if it's lasted that long, this next game,
Yeah,
Everett,
I don't.
might last
The
40 years.
it came out before or after the blackout Super Bowl.
A year after.
That's wild.
And I wouldn't be shocked if a majority of people who are not just consuming this content specifically, but just most people online right now do like we're not old enough to like realize
Yeah,
like
I
what happened in
realized.
that
I,
Harbaugh
I
Bowl.
yeah, I also texted you yesterday. I was like, Black Ops 3 came out 9 years ago. Like that made me feel old. So
That's a feel old yet moment.
yeah,
I mean, like this new
look,
Call of Duty game. This is hey, we're massive Call of Duty fans.
we
That's
are.
like really how our whole obsession with the internet and creating content really started.
It
It
did. Well,
really
there's still
started with
evidence.
game.
It's still out there.
You
I'm
guys
not
can
gonna
find
drop
it.
it. You can find it.
We will
There,
not
but
expose where, but it's
where it
out
is.
there.
But there are YouTube videos of us playing competitive Call of Duty out there. So
Yeah.
and
And
and some zombies maps, I guess. But yeah, it's out there.
no, but I mean, I had this realization
Well,
the
you
other
know what?
day.
Actually,
Well, not the other
I'm
day, a
gonna add
while
the
ago, but
stipulation
yeah.
though. If you want credible proof the unnamed intern exists, there is one video specifically that is out there that he is present on. He makes an appearance on. So there's credible proof.
I
But
can't say I know what that answer is off the top
Disneyland,
of my head. Uh,
Disneyland Grant.
Maybe on voice, but not
Yeah, voice. Not
actively
well. No, no. There is
participating
no
in
there's no
Disneyland.
face interaction there. But
The
yeah,
unnamed intern did not make the trip on the bus. He did not.
no,
There
he
were
did
not
not.
enough
There
seats
was not
on the
enough
bus
seats.
for him. If you know, you know.
Somebody was taking up an extra one. But yeah,
Somebody was, but it is interesting that I had this realization a while ago. I mean, we had this realization in high school that we were like, oh, we might be washed. Like these kids can't be
no.
controlled.
When we were
Like we had
playing
that
two
realization
years
like over
ago.
5 years ago.
No, like even like 2 years ago, we came back and we
Well,
were
I
having our own
knew it
fun, but we were
was
just
set in
getting
stone
yeah.
2 years ago. Like, oh, I know this is past my time. But like 5 years ago, I hadn't accepted it yet. Still thought I was at peak. I wasn't.
No,
Not at
no,
all. The
no. Hey,
kids these days,
I will say,
I'm impressed.
if
Truly,
you
with
and
their
I,
work
if
ethic,
you,
I'm impressed.
if you and I went on, would we be above the average player? Yes. Would we still be very good? Yes. But would we
Yeah, I
get
mean,
smacked if
there's
we
years
went
of
and played?
experience you can't take
Yeah.
away from us.
If we went in there and you had a couple 13-year-olds in there that just sit, they come home, play Call of Duty, yeah, we're getting smacked. We're getting smacked. So,
I
but
know that there is an
I
8-year-old
will.
out there. I know how I
Yeah,
treated
I
Call of
remember.
Duty when
I
I was
remember.
11.
I remember.
Oh, these kids must be doing that 10x.
Hey, I will just say the only thing that matters to me is if I get in a lobby with all my friends, I'm going to be the best player in. That's what
Yeah,
matters to me.
well,
And
I mean, at the end of the
unless
day,
you're with me,
video games should always be about fun. I think that's where we missed a step in the whole.
Well, we did have fun
aspect.
for a while, but then we decided to take it too seriously.
Once I stopped having fun, I stopped playing the game.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I also blame Fortnite. That shit was way too good. Way too good when it came out.
I mean, look, the only thing I'll say when I was talking about Black Ops 3, Call of Duty wise, it's the most fun that I've had in a game. Just as a game, as friends, as what we're doing.
And it also,
fantastic.
A major factor was that was our 8th grade year. We're not in high school yet.
Yeah.
We could go home every day and literally play for the rest of the day.
We would.
Everett, don't expose the secrets. Don't expose us. Don't expose. Yeah, no, literally every single day. That's all we did. On the weekend. Yeah. Well, on the weekend, we would essentially live stream for 14 hours straight.
We'd just be playing ranked play the whole day.
We'd be sitting there just playing that, and maybe like twice a month we'll be like, "Oh, did you watch the Chiefs Rams game the other night? The greatest football game of all time."
And then, hey, you know what? We'll do that. We would do that. Then Thomas would get naded off a spot twice, and you hang it up for the day. You'd just be like, "Hey, Thomas, hey, man, what are we doing?"
That's where I got a little confused with the whole fun aspect. That was the one part I forgot a lot. I forgot this is supposed to be fun, Grant. I equated winning with fun. That's not always the answer.
Yeah, no.
When it comes to Call of Duty, folks.
That would be a little bit of the difference.
When it comes to sports, that is the answer. Winning does equal fun.
I didn't really care, at least then I didn't really care win or lose. They got to a point where I did care more about winning. And
we are now at the stage where we could both drop 8 million kills in a game. And if we don't win that game, we'll both be upset. So that's the problem. We are the problem.
Yeah, no, we are an issue. But hey, the new Call of Duty doesn't look that bad. So that's a plus.
It looks pretty cool.
It does.
And it has me thinking, I just know if I get it, I'll play 3 games and then I'll be humbled so fast and delete it. So I'm not.
It's one of those things where it's like, we are at the stage now, Grant.
Ignorance is bliss. I can tell myself I'd be good at it, and let's just not burst that bubble.
Here's the issue. We are at the stage now in life where playing video games is actually socializing with your friends and being able to now talk with your friends. And 2, the problem with me and you is video games. Video games, though, you and I will innately always just get to a point where we're just good at it because that's just the way that you and I are. Even if on standard, maybe a 13-year-old will beat us, but just by where we are innately,
a 13-year-old would smoke my ass.
Yeah, but we'll always be in the upper half of the video game, talent population on average, and that just ultimately.
I'll say this: if you square me up with a bunch of other 22-year-olds, I don't know how many would beat me. But
not many.
If you square me up with a bunch of 16-year-olds,
absolutely,
I'm not even going to join the lobby because I don't want that to happen.
We do not want the smoke. The lights are too bright, right? We got to turn the lights down. I just had
a realization though when you were bringing up how it now it's socializing with your friends to play video games. I attribute all of that to the Drake Ninja stream when he had Drake, when Ninja had Drake, Travis, and Juju on that. That literally made Fortnite socially not just cool, but socially accepted.
Well, I do think
I literally attribute that moment to
I do think that when we were teenagers, right, when we were in 8th grade, the older population, the 30-year-olds that were playing Call of Duty then, which we're quickly unfortunately approaching, they would do it to go play with their friends. And now it's a little bit different, but still we are getting, that is the age group we are now in, is we are playing to play with friends and to have fun that way. So, um, but yeah, so that's that. I guess that was our TED talk for today.
Yeah, no, that's going to be the TED talk. Yeah, I'd say right now, yeah, gaming's in an interesting sphere. We'll leave it at that. All right, on to the episode. Wait, let me check. Make sure I got the episode number correct. All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today's episode 272. And the first college football playoff poll, the first ever 12-team college football playoff poll just dropped. Billy Napier somehow saved his job at Florida. We'll get into that.
Don't get that.
We have some interesting divisional matchups this week in the NFL. I wouldn't say it's a full-on divisional week, but we got a bunch of interesting divisional matchups. Bengals, Ravens, Broncos, Chiefs, Falcons, Saints, and last one on here, Eagles, Cowboys, which we thought would be more exciting, but that
wouldn't say is that interesting. Yeah,
no, but yeah, a lot of interesting stuff going on. We could start with the NFL, could start college football. Where do you want to start off with here?
Let's honestly. I feel like it's probably better to start off with college football. Let's get into the 12-team playoff, the first college football playoff committee ranking.
The very first college football playoff rankings dropped. Quick caveat: when I was posting my college football playoff rankings throughout the year, I was putting it in the playoff bracket format. But obviously, these rankings and stuff, they'll be coming out just your normal 1 through 25 you've been seeing for the past decade.
I mean, I've still seen the layouts. They're still putting the layouts out after that.
Yeah. No, and it's beautiful to see. Like the first time I saw the 12-team just on screen official, I was like,
I will say I do like. I obviously seeing the 12-team formatted right looks beautiful, but the fact that they're still doing it in the 25, which I wouldn't have expected them not to, but also kind of subtly did expect them not to do it at the same time.
Wait, what do you mean? Like rank 25 teams?
I'm saying the college football playoff format, right? Like obviously seeing it in that actual playoff format, teams 1 to 12, the way you've been doing it looks really nice, right? And also, obviously, I didn't expect them only to do that and not do a full 25 ranking, but at the same time, I sublet. I don't know. I can't
say the sentence without the adverb, and then I can probably figure out. Just say what you were going to say.
But I also didn't necessarily think that at the same time that they were going to do the full 25, just on the down low, I guess.
I mean,
SUBTLEY. Yeah. So,
but my initial reactions when I first saw it, I was somewhat impressed that there wasn't as much SEC bias as I fully expected. Georgia over Ohio State. I was kind of surprised when I saw that. I guess it does make sense they still have Penn State at 6 over a lot of the teams. I agree with that. I think that is true. I'd say, one problem I have, I look too closely at Ohio State as a team, and, I just see Penn State didn't score an offensive touchdown against Ohio State, and I say that in my mind, well, Penn State's ass. Like, that's how
the only difference I make in the top 12 between AP and CFP is Georgia's 3 on CFP and AP Georgia's 2. That's it. They got just them and Ohio State switched. That's the only difference in the top 12 between the CFP and AP.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, AP poll's dead. No reason to look at it at all anymore. Literally irrelevant. Means absolutely nothing.
It is.
The college football playoff is everything now, and it's interesting to see how they're like. I'm most interested in seeing this kind of back half of like starting at Penn State moving down. From Penn State to Ole Miss on these rankings. Like those are the teams I'm looking at to get those last little spots here.
By the way, the only team which I'm kind of surprised by that is not included in the CFP poll but is in the AP. CFP has Missouri ranked 24. AP is disgusting.
Missouri's atrocious. They're one of the worst football teams I've ever watched in my life. Any Missouri fan, I mean, I remember like 4 weeks ago, I had Missouri fans in the comments being like, oh, look at this Ohio State fan think that he knows anything about what he's talking about. Missouri beat Ohio State last year, pipe down. It's like
That's a year ago, dude.
not even that. But it's just like if you're gonna celebrate Flowers barely beating an Ohio State team with third strings and our backup quarterback getting hurt early on and Lincoln Kindhole's South Dakota legend coming in and you still barely beat us. It's like, you know what that means for Missouri? That means you're screwed when you play Ohio State's ones if you can barely get by their threes. That's the mental check that should have gone through your guys' head. I know it didn't. You guys are Missouri fans. I know you haven't been here probably ever in your life, and you're having like a, oh my God, we're good at football moment. No, it's not true. You're not. You're
Hey
not
man,
good at
Brady Cook came
football.
back from that MRI though. Yeah, they got
It
that
was
moment.
great for him, but it's just a damn shame the whole team sucks. I remember Missouri fans sitting there being like, the whole team returns. Everybody comes back. Yeah, true. And it's ironic because like this year the rest of college football is down, yet Missouri got worse despite returning like their entire production. No, that's where the SEC bias comes in. It's disgusting. It's an absolute joke. They literally have them at 24th to prop up Alabama. That's literally why, Everett. Because Alabama has a 34-0 win over a ranked opponent. That's why they put Missouri at 24 for Alabama. And just remember when I was saying like, hey, expanding the playoffs, what this really means, you just pretty much guaranteed
No.
Alabama and Ohio State a
Yeah.
spot for the rest of time. And you just saw it right there, folks. Missouri getting ranked. Yep. Alabama's in the playoff, everybody. Hope you guys enjoy it. You should have killed Bama when you had the chance. Never give Bama a second chance. That's a big mistake.
They already have had two. That's the thing. They've two losses, Grant. This is their third chance.
But like that didn't kill them.
I know that's the problem. That
they got to lose three times to kill them.
Yeah, there you go.
No, yeah, and it's not going to happen. But anyone who thinks a 10-2 Alabama team is going to miss the playoff, I don't know what sport you, but you must be new here.
What we said was the remember when we did that episode though, looking at it like the line is 2 losses, 3 losses you're not making, 2 losses you're still in. You still have the potential.
Yeah.
That is the line. That
I will say this though, a step further. It don't matter what happens to everyone else. Like a 10-2 Alabama team, they could lose to Vanderbilt. Yeah, and Vanderbilt could be 10-2. Guys, guess what? Alabama's getting in.
But what I am saying though is if Bama somehow they're not going to, but if they did lose another game, yeah, they're not going to be in. But that they're on the edge right now, but it's not going to matter.
No, backs against the wall. They're on their last straw.
It's not going to matter.
It sounds crazy though, but it's like that. That's when they're the scariest, Everett.
So just looking at this, I was kind of surprised that.
I'm really disappointed in the committee for having Tennessee so high. Tennessee's offense is atrocious. I mean, Nico does not look good. They're little crazy ass splits. They got their wide receivers outside the numbers. It's like Nico doesn't quite have the arm to like run that offense. And the run game looks damn good. I'm a big fan of Tennessee's run game. Like that's how they're winning football games, big man football. They're stopping the run up front. They're running the ball well on offense, but in terms of that second dynamic of, hey, sometimes you're gonna need to pass to win. Like they don't quite have it. And unfortunately, Tennessee, they're in a nice little state here where they can just kind of just keep playing their game, and they're going to be in. Tennessee's going to be in the playoff, of course. But it's just a shame seeing these biases pop in.
Really, what I want to look at, Grant, is I want to look at the Big 12. That's kind of my focus here.
Why?
Because one, what you were talking about in the last episode was the way that you get 2 G5 teams in here is through the Big 12 not being right. And 2, I want to look at BYU specifically because I think BYU is overrated. I think that they're 8-0, but I don't think that they're going to end the season ranked 9. I would be surprised.
Why so?
Because just looking at the way that the Big 12 has been playing this year, I feel like every week is kind of like the teams that are in there, like anybody could just win. Like I don't think anybody has come out and
Oh
have
yeah,
just displayed themselves to be the
seems pretty
cream of
neck
the
and
crop.
neck.
Right.
Yeah,
So I think, you're going through it like BYU still has to play ASU. They still have to play a couple other teams that could come in there.
still
And
has to. But they're about to smack ASU upside the front. Was
well, my
I
my
mean, they
my
get
my
Utah
my
next
point.
week, easy. Kansas the week after, dead. Gonna slaughter them. Arizona State, and then Willie Fritz. BYU is undefeated. Yeah, no.
Well,
Where's the
my
loss?
point being is that to this point, though, if anybody in the Big 12, there's nobody's looked as the head honcho. It's not going to matter whether you're 8-0 or not, because I'm saying BYU hasn't looked head and shoulders above a lot of teams in the Big 12. So I'm just
I would
curious.
say okay. When you say head and shoulders, like, there's no like Oregon in the conference slaughtering
Right.
everybody. True. There's no one in the Big 12 that's a national title contender. I agree. Yeah. Whoever wins the Big 12, I'll meet you in the middle. Yeah. No, they're getting slaughtered by the 5 seed.
Well, but I
They're
also
walking into a massacre, a
I
straight
just
ass whooping.
I don't
Everett.
think I do not think I think that whoever wins the Big 12 will be the 11 seed. I don't think actually no, they'd have to be 4. They'd have to be the 4 seed still. But I think that there is a culpable chance that the G5 team in Boise State takes that 4 seed over the Big 12. You don't think so? You don't agree with that?
No.
You don't agree with that?
How would Boise State jump the Big 12 champ?
Because when it comes down to the seeding, right? It comes down to who's the higher ranked teams to get the seed.
Yeah. But
I'm
how
saying
could Boise State jump the Big 12 champ in the final? Like,
I'm saying well, all they need to do is just have a higher ranking than the Big 12 champion, right?
how do they do that?
I'm just saying if BYU
It's impossible. They can't.
if BYU loses one of these games and they win the Big
If
12,
BYU's a 12-1 Big 12 champ, they're going to be over Boise State, Everett.
I think
Why are you saying? How could you put Boise State above them? You want to go through Boise State's wins?
No, they're not. They're not incredible.
They beat UNLV. What?
They're incredible. What BYU's name win is over K-State right now, right?
It's just they're all Power 5 teams.
Yeah, I guess. I'm looking for ways. I'm looking for ways to get some
for that to happen.
Action.
BYU's the winner of the Big 12 game, Everett, has to be like 9-4. I don't think that can happen at this stage. To get 2 G5 teams in, that the Big 12 champ has to have like 4 L's.
That's not possible anymore. It's not possible to get 2 Big 5 teams or G5 teams in. That's not what I'm looking at. I was looking at more specifically how you might get Boise State to have that bye week over BYU. That's why I'm interested in what's going on.
Well, I'll say this: it'd be a cool win for them, but they get slaughtered by the 5 seed.
No, I never said that that's not going to be the case.
It don't fucking matter.
I'm not saying I never said that's not going to be the case. But that's what interests me.
It don't matter. Whoever Big 12 or they're both getting slaughtered, taken out.
I do want to say though, one of the teams that I would watch right now though is SMU, sitting right outside, first 4 in. SMU's look pretty good.
So
this year.
SMU, they look pretty good. Like, that's the team where I'm looking at to just like drop a game.
Well, I would say BYU's more likely to drop a game than SMU right now. SMU plays Boston College, Virginia, and Cal.
Cal's hard.
Okay,
Cal's a good football team.
Ironically, though, SMU's only loss is by 3 to BYU. So, but they have 2 ranked wins.
I think SMU looks good. Don't get me wrong. But like, if SMU had to pick any
Grant,
team in the top 12 right now, getting whopped.
What's our biggest rule in college football?
It's
hard to beat a team twice. It's hard to beat a team twice.
Well, SMU, that's like never happened. That's not our rule in college football. NFL, it's like hard to beat a team 3 times. I'm a big divisional round, throw everything out the window. The interesting thing is this year, it's like the first time we're seeing a bunch of rematches.
But that is what I'm saying. So I think when we get into the championship games of this year, it's going to get really
it's
interesting.
hard to beat a team twice. That's true. We always live by all these things. I've been burned by that thought process recently. Like Oregon last year over Washington. Oregon was like a 10-point favorite, get whopped by DeVore in Washington. It's like, hey, like I'm gonna say that's like that's like the casual man's thing. That's like an NFL Twitter casual thing that gets thrown around. Tough to be a team. That's like what
NFL is
teams
completely
lose the
different.
first time
I don't think
tell
that's
themselves going
I
into
don't think
future
it's fair to
games.
say that in the NFL. The NFL, I don't think beating a team twice has any merit on anything. I don't think that it's. I think that's a completely different.
That could be your rule. That ain't my rule. But the playoff right now, I would say I'm interested to see how they treat Indiana. They're probably going to be 11-1, gonna miss Big Ten championship game. I think, I have no idea. They'll
If they're
probably end
11
up
and
being
one, if they're
10
11 and
seed,
one, they'll
9
be in
seed.
there. If they're 11 and one, they're going to be in there, right? I mean, Notre Dame's not losing a game the rest of the year. They're going to be in there.
Yeah, they're in.
Unless Boise State drops something, Boise State will be in there. Tulane kind of holds its
I will
own
say that
destiny
the
the other
Notre
way.
Dame
But
fans the past month who have been fighting me, where's Notre Dame? How do you not have Notre Dame in there? Don't lose to directional Illinois. Don't lose to directional Illinois. And then I would respect you. But you lost to directional Illinois. You don't deserve respect. Don't give me that shit. Be happy you're going to be in the playoff, and I look forward to when you get mollywopped by Penn State. You're going to get mollywopped by a team who can't move the ball on offense.
yeah, I mean, looking at all these teams, Grant, the most likely team that I think might get the boot out of here is you're either going to have it's probably Tennessee. It's probably Tennessee.
I'd say it's looking. I feel like those top 12 is a pretty good chance they all stay in.
There is a good chance, but I'm saying the most, if any team is going to have a chance of getting the boot out of there, it's probably Tennessee right now.
Maybe I'd say this is, I'm sitting on this. I've been brewing this opinion for a couple of weeks. We'll see if I end up sticking with it. But end of the year rivalry week, there's going to be a new rivalry. Well, it's a long time rivalry, but it's going to be resparked this year. And I'd say this might be my most watched, looking forward to rivalry game of rivalry weekend, Thanksgiving weekend. But the Texas Longhorns have to go to College Station and play Texas A&M Saturday, Thanksgiving weekend. And Everett, I'm not sticking to it yet, but I'm very close to picking the Aggies in that game. Very, very close to picking the Aggies in that game. We'll see. We'll see.
Hey, Grant.
We'll see if I can
honestly,
get there.
though, the biggest game of the season, arguably right now, not of the season, but for the rest of the season in the SEC is happening this week for the playoffs. Alabama going to Baton Rouge, playing at LSU.
Yeah, they're probably just going to beat LSU.
Probably, but one of the hardest places to play in the nation is in Baton Rouge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know Garrett, I know Nussmeier, whatever the fuck. I know that he did not look good last week. He has not looked good recently.
Yeah, he just, I don't know. It's very strange with him. So there's quarters where he looks unbelievable, looks crazy, ridiculous, set to go. And then there are times where you're just like, who the hell are you looking at, dude?
No, you know the video of the OSU quarterback, his hands fucking rattling and shit.
Yes.
That's what it makes me think of. Yeah.
Yeah, with Nuss, there's just so much
Nuss missed the bus.
Quarterback play right now in college football. And yeah, it's kind of a disappointment, but LSU, like, they're a team that they're like right there on the cusp. They're just sitting there. I don't know.
Well, no, this is it. If they have it is for both schools, for both teams. This is a must.
I know
game.
Yeah, I'm thinking just national outlook. even if like LSU wins this game, it's like they're getting wiped anytime they face somebody real.
Probably,
Yeah, no,
but
this is a fun game. It's like yeah, no, this is a weird game. If Alabama wins it, then it's like they could go on and make some noise. If LSU wins it, it's like great, they're gonna make the playoff. Uh, get bounced early in the playoff, and then just Brian Kelly like buys himself another year. So it's like LSU's they're kind of in a lose lose. That's the best
yeah,
way of looking at it.
for a
'Cause, like, now
fun
they have no shot
factor,
at doing anything.
obviously, Bama winning would just be better quality football to watch in the playoffs, but doesn't discount
No,
whether
no,
or
I would
not.
love to see LSU win because I might have to subscribe to the Bama Forum message boards real quick for the weekend because oh my god, it's about to be the most entertaining shit. Kalen DeBoer doesn't know what Bama football is. Get him off. Oh, I'm going to eat up every second of it.
Hey, but
But
they are bringing the live tiger back for this game, Grant. He's coming
okay,
back.
that could add
That's
some
just
that could
vibes.
add some vibes factors into it for sure. Uh, I'd kind of prefer if they like surrounded the entire stadium with just like a fortress of lions just standing there. I think that'd be a little more intimidating. I know Kalen DeBoer would definitely wear a suit for that game
Yeah,
instead of
you
his
got to
t-shirt,
walk
Bama
through a
fans.
zoo to get
Uh,
into the stadium.
oh yeah, no, literally, yeah, no, like you're walking through the jungle, like you're entering enemy territory, you're entering Death Valley. Yeah, no, I still think Bama's just gonna win it though. Yeah, I mean, LSU coming off a bye. I would say though, teams that look bad coming off the buys this year looked very bad this year coming off buys. So I don't really think that helps LSU. If anything, that just like gave them a week to really, really go F around for Halloween weekend. That's essentially what
Yeah,
actually
just you
ended up
saw what
happening for the
Jackson
bye
Dart was
week.
doing. So
Yeah, and there's one thing I'll slightly defend Dart here, seeing the Ole Miss fans go like eviscerate him, light him up. It's just like um he is a college kid. Like what are you
gotta have some
expecting him to
fun, right?
do?
You gotta have some
Like
fun. Not everybody's Tim Tebow, all right? Not
yeah,
everybody's on a
and
mission to save their coaches' souls.
yeah, no, yeah. I mean that was Tebow. That's why he went to Florida to save Dan Mullen. He felt like he was called by God to save Dan Mullen's life. That's why he attended the University of Florida. But yeah, I think Alabama will just win the game. Not like a blowout or anything. I'm expecting like close game, maybe even a crazy OT game. Everett, you know what? I hate to say it, but this may have the double OT 2 point
Hey,
trade off potential.
don't
This game has it.
don't forget you still got the Iron Bowl at the end of the year.
Oh yeah, no, that's yeah, like Iron Bowl and the game, like those two throw everything out the window. Like, I mean, growing up early on in my life, like Ohio State would be 11-0, Michigan's like 5-6, and like Ohio State wins like 17-16. It's like random shit happens in that football game. So, that those games, it's rivalry week. A win is a win.
Yeah,
I
wake
don't
up
care what the
Black
final score
Friday could
is.
just murder your whole weekend.
Yeah, it could destroy the weekend. Well, Black Friday will be right before, but yeah,
Yeah, I know.
a lot of things happen for that weekend. This one should be a nice rock taken off of my back. Obviously, we'll see it when we get there. I ain't saying anything till I see it to believe it. I'd say if there's any like last little fun things, Georgia Ole Miss is a very interesting game. I expect Georgia to win. Only a 2.5 point favorite. Now they're going to Oxford, going to be at Ole Miss. Um, this is like the Ole Miss make or break. And it's kind of sucks to be an Ole Miss fan right now because they kind of did go all in this year. Now everyone talks about Ohio State portal, $20 million roster, yada yada. People forget Ole Miss savaged the portal very, very hard last offseason. Ole Miss has a lot of upperclassmen guys that they hit in the portal, and they're 7-2 right now. They're a finesse team. So if they can man up
Oh yeah,
and
and Lane
hang with
Kiffin can no
Georgia.
longer tell his players to go down on the field anymore because that's a
Oh yeah,
fine then
and
suspension.
considering that Billy Napier is not going to be fired from Florida, it looks like Lane won't be going to Gainesville, and yeah, that's a whole messy situation in its own right. So yeah, right now Lane just sitting there twiddling his thumbs, probably on the phone with his like
Making
new
TikToks
transfer
with his
quarterback.
wife.
Yeah. Also, fun fact. I know you just said his wife. That's actually his daughter in the TikTok, but
His
you
wife's
have
the
a
same
point there.
age.
No, you have a point there because I also thought that was his wife at first, and then I realized, oh, his wife and daughter are the same age and look the same. That should make you
That's
think a little
weird.
bit twice. But
Yeah.
hey, we're not judging anything like that. Bill Belichick, good
A
for
little
you,
bit
dog.
different
You
situation.
out here eating up, boy. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised the line's 2.5. Yeah, bro, give me Georgia 2.5. I'm not thinking twice about that. They're gonna smack Ole Miss.
Well, hey, what if 90% of the money was on Georgia? Then how do
Oh,
you
that
feel?
that 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 changes. That changes everything.
So you do think twice. There is
No, no,
some
that
situations
yeah,
where
no,
you
no,
think twice.
that changes everything. But like that could be the definition of the sucker's line right there. If you're like Georgia might soon have free.
I
No,
will
you
say
idiot sandwich.
Carson Beck, it looks just god awful.
Oh, it
So
looks
hey,
atrocious. Looks so bad.
not a
But
guy I
it's
want
like that's what's
on my money.
horrifying about Georgia because it's like he's not even looking good and they're winning. And it's like, hey, he could continue playing like this. And if that happens, as an Ohio State fan, I love to hear that.
Yeah,
I
no, I
just
will
don't
say
expect that to happen.
right now, right now I would say there's only two first round quarterbacks for this year. My
Who
opinion.
do we think?
Cam Ward and Shador. And
Yeah,
actually, no, Dylan
you
Gabriel
know,
might be up there as well.
I'm not sure about
Unfortunately, but
DG, but
if
yeah,
he wins the
Cam
Heisman, he will
Ward.
be.
Yeah, and I feel bad for whatever franchise takes 5'11 boy. But yeah, when it comes to Cam Ward, it's like very amazing, but it's like he has like 3 moments a game where he'll just be like rolling out. Well, let's start. He'll like roll out to his left, roll all the way back out to his right, nonchalantly cross body throw across the field, just pick six. And
Oh,
just
hey,
like,
well,
what
Anthony
the
Richardson couldn't hit a broadside of a barn and got drafted pick 5. So
That's true. And what did the franchise? Oh, yeah, they gave up on him.
yeah,
Yeah.
they
So if you
shouldn't
want to
have
give up
started
on
him in the
another
first
guy,
place. They shouldn't
maybe,
have started him in the first place.
maybe, yeah. But hey, like that's a long
Well,
term
Grant, Bo
project.
Nix also went highly in the first round last year too. So
And
let's
I
not
think
forget
Bo
that.
Nix sucks.
And that's my point.
Yeah, and
That's my point.
Cam Ward might too.
That's
So
my
yeah,
point.
I'm
That's even
not
more to my point.
sure. Well, yeah, then why would you say he's a first round quarterback?
Because I think when you're looking comparatively towards the rest of the quarterback
Well, hey,
room,
how
those
about
are the
this?
only two that would
Maybe we can
respectively
agree on
be the
this.
argument.
Yeah, okay. We think he can be drafted in the first round.
Yes, that's what I'm
Is
saying.
he a first round court? No,
No.
there isn't one in
Is
this draft.
Shador?
He might be.
He might be.
He might be.
He might be.
He is. He is.
Probably.
Shador's
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Yeah, he's the number one quarterback in this
We
class.
give him a lot of shit for good reason. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I
hey,
mean, the quotes he said about his O line and stuff. I mean, it's true. There's a reason that they were made. But hey, I'll be honest. Good for Shador. Ever since those early season hiccups, they've just been on a roll, tearing it up. Hey, Colorado, if SMU can drop
but hey,
one more.
Just quickly going down the line, Nuss Bus, not. Gabriel, not. Carson Beck's, not. Jackson Dart's, not. Ewers is not right now. Who else am I missing? Any top guys?
I think that's it. Just for top, I'm not saying he's going to be
Walker.
starting in the NFL, but like, I'm keeping my eye on Curtis Rourke as like a day 3 pick.
Yeah,
that is a guy I'm looking at. Like, hey, I'm not
the only other thing,
any money on him to succeed, but like, I could see a world where he like gets a spot starter, goes down, and like he just takes it.
Yeah, the only other comment I wanted to make before we get in the NFL, and we'll end with the NFL, is I would like a moment of silence, Grant, for Miller Moss, for our guy.
Well, I heard a little rumor that Miller Moss may be entering the transfer portal And
Oh,
the team, well, I heard a rumor that he hasn't entered the transfer portal. That happened. But I heard the rumor that he would be attending the University of Michigan, where his recruitment went down to. And if that's the case, not sure if I can defend him anymore. So, yeah.
how do you feel about that?
Uh,
Would you be
really
scared?
sad for Miller because, dude, you're really throwing away a future. I feel bad for him. I hope he doesn't for his future because it's not going to end up well in Michigan.
He could go to Ohio State. They need a quarterback for this year. Technically not, but technically.
Julian
I
Sands.
know.
And we have this guy, Tavian St. Clair, coming in. He might be starting as a true freshman. He looks very good. We'll see.
Hey,
I would bet Julian Sands going to be the starter, though.
but with yeah, we can move into the NFL with that. All right, Grant. So last week, you beat me by one. You have now we've been tracking this, right? I have a history of flipping and starting to go negative at the half point mark in the season. We have passed that, and that has yet to happen. So that's new. But per standard things, you are now have overtaken me. Hopefully that trend does not continue, even though it happens every year. But yeah, so it's my turn to read the game slate for the first time in weeks. So but I went 11
we got
for
one
last
trap
week.
in here.
I know, I saw. Hey, don't worry. I've got it. I've got it clocked. All right. But I went 11-4 last week. You went 12-3. I'm now 78-43 on the year. You are what, 75
and 46.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the goal is 60% on this podcast.
That is
that would lines. Be we're not picking spreads, so we
that would be, I believe. Did you finish over 60% last year?
Neither of us did.
Yeah, I don't think to this point either of us have finished
season
over 60.
That's the key point here. I could look it up and verify. I'll do that for next episode, but according to my knowledge, neither of us have ever finished over 60% at this point in the season based on past results. Me already being over 60% based on past results, I've locked myself up for the year. Based on your past results, though, you're only going downhill from here.
Well, so that's what we said 3 weeks ago. Damage. We said 3 weeks ago that I was going to go downhill. Now that not.
We have passed the halway point, now it's.
Well, we passed that already.
If you could get through my performance this next week again.
That's what we said. That's what we said last week.
Well, now it's like we're past it.
We said 2 weeks ago.
Week 9's the exact middle.
Okay. Well, I went 11-4.
There's a lot of teams who have only played 8 games. They have 9 games left in the season, Everett.
True. I'm currently sitting at 64.46%, so 65% correct. Currently.
We got to slow that burn, baby. Keep it slow.
Just for reference, if I got every single game wrong this week, I would drop to 57%. So there's room. If I got every game wrong this week, there's
no negative weeks. No negative weeks here on out.
But okay, Grant. Here's the deal. We are recording this on Thursday, 3:53
Thursday night football.
So log in the time.
I have a feeling we're both going to be picking the same team for that. So yeah.
Okay, Grant. Thursday night slate, Thursday night game, Bengals Ravens. Okay, Sunday we're in Germany, starting off with an AM game, nice 8:30 a.m. kickoff Central Time. Giants at Panthers, technically at noon slate. Okay, noon slate. We have I gotta just get this guideline. Okay, we have Giants at Panthers, Patriots at Bears, Bills at Colts, Broncos at Chiefs, Falcons at Saints, 49ers at Bucks, Steelers at Commanders, Vikings at Jacksonville, Titans at Chargers, Eagles at Cowboys, Jets at Cardinals, and Lions at Texans. Monday night game, we got a coast-to-coast game. Miami takes on the Rams in LA. So
I love, blast right through 80 game early slate. No Sunday night football. I love to hear it. Yeah, I'd say what the hell NFL schedule? Like what is up?
Weird.
with this
I did.
nine-game early
Yeah.
slate, three-game afternoon.
Yeah,
What the hell am I looking at?
I did forget to mention. All right, the afternoon games.
What
Let
am
me
I
back
looking
up.
at, folks? What the hell am I looking at?
Yeah,
Why
night
is
game.
there 7 games going on at one time and then
The
three in the
witching
next
hour is
window?
going to go crazy for that noon slate.
But
But
it's
yeah,
just like,
uh,
why?
Sunday night game is Lions at Texans,
I'm
and
just
the
saying, I
mid
look forward
afternoon is.
to next week seeing people comment like, "Oh, I watch every single game." You watch 7 football games at the set. Show me your 7 TV setup. Let's see it.
And it's just red zone.
Yeah, no. They're watching Red Zone. You didn't
That
watch the
doesn't
whole
count.
game.
It
You
doesn't
don't know what
count.
you're talking about. No, yeah. Anyone sitting there, only part of my take.
What, you saw the pick
Watch every
six that
football game.
happened in a
Um,
17-point loss? Are we forgetting that the O line got blown up by the other team in any clip you didn't get to see? So, okay.
I don't even know what game you're referencing right there.
I'm just making a
But
general
yes.
statement. I'm
Oh,
just making a general
fair.
statement, not non-specific. All right, Grant. So I guess I'm going first here. Ravens, Giants, which we have to talk about the Panthers doing some stupid stuff today. Bills, Chiefs, Falcons, 49ers, Commies, Vikings, Chargers, Eagles, Jets. This is a game I now have an asterisk on, so we got to talk about it. Texans, asterisk on Nico Collins playing. Otherwise, I want the Lions. Is that acceptable, or do I just need to take the Lions?
I feel like just pick. I'm picking Lions.
Right,
I don't care.
Picking Lions. I'm picking Lions then. I don't think Nico Collins is playing. And then the Rams. Rams my final pick.
Yeah, the exact same thing as you, but I'm going with Steelers over Commanders. So I got
Really
Ravens,
taking the
Giants,
defense.
Bears, Bills, Chiefs, Falcons, Niners, Steelers, Vikings, Chargers, Eagles, Jets, Lions, Rams. For that Jets Cardinals, I remember seeing something recently that like Kyler Murray hasn't won back-to-back football games in like 3 years.
Yeah, Call of
they
Duty
won
came
last
out,
week.
Grant.
That obviously that's the other vibes factor, but it's like I was also really thinking this year that like this is the year Kyler breaks the Call of Duty stigma. It's like
that's what I thought too.
It's now been like 5 straight years where he hears it every single year, and I was like, no, this year he's gonna put an end to it.
No,
I'll have to see it to believe it. First, I'm picking the Jets. The Cardinals are probably not gonna win back-to-backs, but like Cardinals, they're on that frisky
yeah, they're on the frisky radar
ranking,
but
they're in that tier list. Frisky.
I will also say the Jets looked pretty good last week.
Jets look better. I feel that was just such a weird game. Like so strange. The Jets, I'm not like buying into them being.
No, I also whenever a team ever has an interim head coach, I'm always just so iffy.
They get a bump.
Them.
They get a little bump.
Yeah, I'm so the other by Big Rich that year. I've always just been so iffy with interim coaches. So
it usually like doesn't end up well. Like shit, I just remember the Jeff Saturday interim coach journey. That was hilarious.
Hey, he almost blew us out. He almost blew us out and then happened to have the worst loss ever.
Interim coaches is a weird place. Hey, I also heard another little tidbit though, Everett, that if the Bears lose to the Patriots, that Matt Eberflus will be the first coach in Chicago Bears history to be fired mid-season. I heard a little rumor
for them. Good for them.
Good for them. For you though, I'm scared because I hate the fans of Chicago and how they scapegoated Justin Fields as the problem when you got a straight moron dimwit coaching your football team. Let's start with him first. I saw.
I don't know if I should be concerned.
Yards per game and points per game, Justin to Caleb. Oh yeah, take a wild guess what happened to the stats. Oh yeah, nothing changed. Maybe Justin wasn't the problem.
I don't know if I'm
ready for that conversation yet, though.
I don't know if I should be overly concerned or elated that if they fire Eberflus, Ben Johnson will definitely become the head coach of the Bears.
That he'd be like very high up on the list.
Well, he's already said that was the job he wanted.
But maybe
So
he spites the Bears and he's like, yeah, no, they always screw me. I'm not doing that again. I have no idea what goes through
yeah,
these dudes' egos. I have
if
no
they
idea.
hire him, I just don't know if I should be ecstatic because the Lions' offense will be bad, or horrified because
I
the
mean,
Bears might have a capable offensive coordinator, head coach, but he just might be a bad head coach.
at
So
this point in the NFL, the two guarantees when it comes to franchises that we like can stick by year after year, doesn't matter if the Harlem Globetrotters are playing for them or not. Um, the Bears and Jets will always be bad. Like those are the two guarantees. You don't need to worry about it. Don't need to overthink. The Bears and Jets will always be irrelevant. Always. So those are the two lessons I've learned since we started this podcast, really. Never ever trust the Bears or the Jets. Ever. Those
yeah,
are my takeaways.
yeah, yeah, very fair, very fair.
Yeah. Those are the two franchises you can never count on.
Yeah. Well, what about the Jaguars?
Uh you know, if they have the infrastructure, like if Vrabel goes the Jags, I think they could be a
You feel
football
good?
team.
Hey, okay, all
If
right.
Vrabel went to the Bears, great coach, but hey, you can't overcome the Bears. No one can. Only Mike Ditka could. Literally, that's it.
Hey, very, very, very fair. Okay.
You needed the Iron Curtain defense to overcome the ownership group. You know, you're not assembling another Iron defense again. That's
They
long
tried.
gone.
They tried. Um,
They did.
they
They
did.
did.
They did.
Khalil
Okay.
Mack is a Charger. Let's go.
Yeah. So I don't really know what games. Like, I don't want to waste our time talking about Bengals Ravens because this isn't going up before that game. There's not really much
No, no,
reason to
no.
talk about it.
Okay, if there's
Um,
something that can be an interesting game to watch this weekend, I'm just looking like at spreads right now and everything. I guess it's Lions Texans or maybe it's Steelers Commanders. We went separate sides here. It's so weird, but it's like I thought like benching Justin and having Russ start, I'd be like, oh, they definitely love Justin more than Russ. That might be a big fat lie. George Pickens like looks like he cares about football again. I'm like, oh damn it, he hated Justin. That sucks. And I think they were teammates together at
Justin
Georgia
Fields
for a
is
year.
also a free
That
agent
sucks
after this
even.
year, by
Oh
the way.
yeah. Yeah. But Russ in that offense, like they look competent, like moving the ball. And the Steelers defense is pretty nice right now. You know, the one thing I'll say about the Commanders that I've been very impressed with the Commanders defense based on how they looked started the season. I thought like, oh, this might just be a Big 12 football team. Put up 35, giving up 38. Like it might just be crazy high scoring games. I've been impressed with the Commanders defense. They're not as bad as they I thought they were going to be. But the one blind factor I'm going off of this game is bye week. Steelers coming off the bye. We've been looking into it this year. Like the only teams losing off the byes are like the Titans, like the Bears, shitty teams. Steelers are not a great team, not an elite team, but a good team, pretty good team. And I think the Commanders are better than the Steelers, but I don't think they're that much better. And
I think that it is a defensively, the Commanders now, Marshawn Lattimore is over there now too. Remember that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But defensively, I think they match up well with the Steelers offense. And although the Steelers defense is probably better than the Commanders offense, I do think that
Oh, I'm not entirely sure about that part. I think the Commanders offense might be more impactful than the Steelers defense is.
yeah, but I think on paper the defense is still better. Just the impact might be, you might have a higher impact.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
I do.
The
I do
Commanders are
think
crazy.
I do think that the offense for the Commanders has a higher likelihood of scoring on the Steelers' defense, scoring high, I should say, than the Steelers' offense has scoring high on the Commanders' defense.
Steelers can score, Everett. I'm about to pull up Steelers game log real quick. I'm curious. But like, I hate to admit it because I love Justin Fields, but it's like the Steelers are so much better with Russell Wilson playing. So much better.
Oh, I'm not
Uh,
denying that. I'm not denying that. But I think going
hey,
punch for
okay,
punch,
last did Russ start against the Raiders?
he's yes. He's started for
Okay,
2 weeks now.
Steelers scored 32 points in that game. Scored 37 against the Jets and
Okay, that was the
26 against
Raiders.
the Giants.
Those are not like super.
No, I know, not good, but hey,
They could
still a lot
score.
of
They could
points.
score. But
Hey, if you were to tell me going into the season, I wouldn't have picked the Steelers to put up 37 on the Jets. I'd be like, what the hell are you on? Russell Wilson, 37 points? No way.
no,
Like, hey,
I
I'm
will.
just saying they're not that they're better on offense now than they were with Justin. Much
Yeah,
better.
yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking like, look, they put up. I guess they put up 26 on the Giants, right? One score game. I think that they could put up something in the 20s against the Commanders, but I just think that the Commanders might be able to put up something in the 30s.
Okay.
It's my thought process.
Uh, I will say though, at Everett, the Steelers have not given up more than 27 points in a game this season, and
It's
they
always time
average
for something.
only 15 points a game. True, true.
There's always some time for something new to happen. Um, so yeah, the only other thing that I really want to talk about, Grant, I feel like was impactful today that happened was the Panthers re-signed Chuba Hubbard. He was set to become a free agent, and the reason why I think that this is impactful is they spent 20. I think they're paying Miles Sanders $26.5 million to be RB3. They drafted
I
a guy in
can
the
check that
second
real quick.
round.
Yeah.
They drafted a guy in the second round who tore his ACL to become the starting RB, and they were going to give Chuba the reins for the meantime. And now they've just decided to pay Chuba for the next 3 years. You could have used that second round pick on something, I don't know, that kind of actually mattered, like somebody who's not Xavier Legette, or anything on defense. Replacing that guy Brian Burns would probably be important. Um, or, you could have just let Chuba go to free agency and spent that money on something else that, is not a running back, because I know Chuba's been great, but you just invested so much in the running back position. It makes no sense. You're not on a team that's ready to win right now.
Yeah, I don't really get it. And Jonathan Brooks is there, so maybe Jonathan Brooks is dead. I don't know.
Maybe
I don't
that, or
understand.
they're thinking of it being like a Jameer Gibbs Monty situation, but it's not like either of them are
Yeah,
remotely close to
no.
this.
Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, I'm looking at Miles Sanders. Yeah, he's under contract for the next 2 seasons after. Well, they kind of have an out next season, cutting him in the year after. They only take on 3 million dead cap. I think if I'm reading that right, they can get rid of Miles Sanders for nothing. Actually, yeah, no, I see it. Yeah, no, Miles Sanders, you're going to be cut. Well, good for you. You're out of Carolina. You've been freed. I wish they could free Olave out of New Orleans. But Miles Sanders, you're getting cut. Chuba, it's going to be him and Brooks.
Well, he's getting paid as a top 10 running back now. That's the thing, I think. So
I got no idea.
I believe that was the metric that I saw. So that's just what confused me, because you don't pay a guy like that to be, a second fiddle. So I mean, maybe Jonathan Brooks' ACL just really is not that good.
Yeah, I got no idea. I haven't heard a thing about Jonathan Brooks. I thought he was going to play like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
So
so that's concerning.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, no, I wish I had an answer for it, but I don't. And it's
But
the Panthers we're talking
but that's
about.
also
They
why
don't make logical decisions. So we're wasting our time trying to rationalize this. They're irrational. Let's stop wasting our time trying to make sense out of something that's stupid.
fair, very fair. But Yeah, I mean that's about it for the NFL. I feel like
I'd say the other dummy move was the Cowboys all in acquiring Jonathan Mingo. Did they give up a third for him?
fourth, fourth, I think.
Thank God. Thank God.
It's
But
still
still,
more.
what the hell? Jonathan Mingo.
I believe the Panthers got more. Yeah, Panthers got more for Jonathan Mingo than they did for Deontay Johnson.
That's true, but the Cowboys gave up more for Jonathan Mingo than they received, giving up Amari Cooper.
Yeah, I don't. The whole metric for the way the trades work now in the
We got to
NFL is
redo the trade chart,
yeah,
Jerry. We got to update it.
those trade charts
We
are
need to
not
update
right.
it.
They're
That
not
trade
accurate.
chart from 91 is 30,
I don't know
30
what
years
happened.
outdated.
It started about like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, and ever
Yeah, like
since
it
then,
like
it's just been
revived the trade chart.
completely out of whack. Like you've had wide receivers that you've been like, hey, like this guy would be a second round, first round pick, right? And ever since then, it's like when the cutoff. Stephon Diggs traded 1-for-1 for that first round pick with the Bills. I think that was the last time that a wide receiver with an expectation of being worth a top pick or top value was, or a player was
Actually,
legitimately traded for that value.
okay. I thought you were saying that was the
Well,
last time a player
CMC,
trade for a first played like they were worth the first after
Christian
getting
McCaffrey,
traded.
Christian McCaffrey wasn't traded for a first. Brian Burns wasn't traded for a first. DJ Moore was, but that was in the package deal.
That's just yeah.
That's
That's
robbery. It was
different.
still
That's different.
robbery.
That's different.
Amari
Wait,
Cooper
wait.
wasn't.
Actually,
Devontae
I
Adams
forgot to
wasn't.
ask you about this. Did you hear the proposed trade between I believe the Lions and the Browns?
No.
I don't think. Okay, so it was some guy, I forget the dude's name. A former NFL GM was on like Inside the NFL or like Get Up or one of those shows.
Yeah, yeah.
And with a straight face, he looked at the rest of the crew and said, the Lions should trade for Myles Garrett, and this is what the trade should be. So I'm gonna start from least to most given up. Okay. Starting off, least a second round pick in the upcoming draft. That's the least. We'll, this may be a hot take, but I'm going to say that this is the next most valuable piece. The next piece is Jahmyr Gibbs. So a second, and then Jahmyr Gibbs. And then I'm going to give the three most valuable picks. And then the three on top are the Lions first for the next 3 years. So 3 firsts,
Wow.
a second, and Jahmyr Gibbs for Myles Garrett.
Please do that. Lions,
and the guy's reasoning
that.
was, well, the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl this year. And it's like, well, we can't guarantee that, but what if they don't win the Super Bowl? Then what?
Hey, David Montgomery is your running back for the next 3 years. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I hope Jameson Williams stops taking PEDs. That's what you hope.
That won't happen. Have you seen that dude's McDonald's order? Yeah, I mean, you don't give a shit what goes into his body. He'll take whatever. No. You don't give away 3 firsts. I thought we learned from your trade with the Cowboys. I thought we learned our lesson.
Low blow.
I thought we learned our lesson, folks.
Low blow.
Appears we have.
At least it was before my time. So you know what? That's
you can make fun of me all you want for John Cooper being 11-0 and then getting mollywopped by a 2-10 Michigan team. Hey, that happened. What can I say?
Before my time. Before our time.
That was back in the Stone Age.
I just feel I don't know what happened. I feel like ever since we got to college and undergrad, the trade meter for offensive players specifically just went out the window.
Yeah. That is what happened.
I think Devontae Adams Amari Cooper's been traded twice now for like 3rd-round picks.
It literally feels like it was just yesterday when Amari was on the Raiders, and then you look up, it's like that kind of was yesterday. That was like 4 years ago. It kind of was just yesterday. So it's like, that time did fly by. A lot happened in like the past 5 years since the Minneapolis Miracle, the shit that has changed in the NFL.
Crazy.
Night and day.
Literally.
Night and day difference.
Different league.
It's great. Like, I'd say my last little thing, it's like, I'll just never forget. I don't know why I always remember this year. I think it was 2014. Titans and Chiefs. were both the worst teams in the NFL, 2-14.
Yes, but
And
prior
both
to Alex
teams
Smith, by the way.
were true, but both teams were meeting up in an AFC divisional round 3 years later. You can turn shit around in the NFL. It's like, it's honestly good for the
Hey,
league.
Alex Smith, greatest commander in chief. Am I right?
There's
Hey,
I'll be honest. You brought this up earlier. Urban Meyer's coaching pass. I just saw a clip, and I like forgot about this because I believe I was not even a 1-year-old when it happened. But Urban Meyer's very first ever undefeated team ever. Do you know? Well, I told you it was for Utah, the Utah Utes.
yeah, was he
His
Alex Smith, his
quarterback
head
was
coach?
Alex Smith.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Urban Meyer and Alex Smith was the very first Urban Meyer guy. He was Tim Tebow before Tebow.
Things start to make sense why he didn't originally pan out in the NFL. He came back. Hey, he made it back.
I will
But
say this: if you look at Urban Meyer's quarterback track record, they're all great college quarterbacks because college is a different game than the NFL. They're not great
not
NFL
prepared. It's like the
quarterbacks.
difference. Lincoln Riley prepares those guys for the NFL. They perform well in college, but like it's more
Yeah,
so the NFL.
they're
Urban
being
Meyer's
trained to
just like,
throw.
yeah, Urban Meyer's just like, no, we're college.
Urban Meyer's
Yeah.
philosophy is just all like math and running. And like when asked on how Ohio State should beat Penn State, and Urban Meyer says this literally every since he left Ohio State, his answer to every question, how does Ohio State beat X team? He has the same answer every time. Run the quarterback 25 to 30 times, equate numbers in the run game, have the quarterback take the D end. And it's just like, that's his only answer. Run the quarterback 30 times. That's the only answer Urban has
What
for
did he do
anything.
when JT Barrett was
Run the
quarterback?
quarterback.
Or Dwayne Haskins?
That year, that year he had to bring in Ryan Day, and he was like, "We're passing now."
Yeah, he had
He
to
knew
modify a
though.
little bit.
Like, I'll respect Urban because he knew, like, okay, now Dwayne can't run read option power offense. Like, hey, JT, everyone gives him shit. That's like one of my favorite football players I've ever watched. Like,
Oh, I know.
JT was a warrior.
What about
Like,
Cardale?
it 12 gauge, absolute tank. I mean, like, I'll just never forget Cardale Jones trucking Landon Collins' in the college football semifinal, trucking his ass. And they both meet at, it's a 3rd and 1. It's a scramble. They meet at the yellow marker line to gain. They both massive collision. Both are on the ground. One guy pops right back up, and the other is like an all-pro safety in the NFL.
Hey,
All I needed to know about that Ohio State team, they were built different.
They're built different. Ford tough, some would say.
I wouldn't say Ford tough. That's a Michigan company, but yes, strong. Yes. Hate runs deep here. Hate runs deep.
Yeah, I was trying to think of another thing. I was trying to think maybe Home Depot has something, but they don't. So
my last update of the show is Clayton Kershaw opted out of his contract. He will be re-signing with the Dodgers. He's made that very clear. He's going to be a Dodger for life. But I want to give a quick shout out to my favorite baseball player ever, Everett. Guess what his contract value actually was for this next season? It was reported it was 10 million. That is not true. Yeah. It was reported Kershaw was due to receive 10 million this next year. That was incorrect.
You want what his actual value is? Because I know that he's just planning on taking a team-friendly contract.
Yeah. But just take a guess what the contract was that Kershaw was supposed to receive this year. 10 million is more than what it was. That's my hint. It's under 10 million.
No, I know. I'm thinking 6.5.
Close enough. He was scheduled to receive 5 million, which would have been nothing to the Dodgers salary cap, by the way. But he still turned that down to take less.
Yeah.
So we can add a new relief pitcher or something.
Roki Sasaki.
Yeah. And
actually, that's international money. That's international money.
That's what we got to talk about. That's the most major development that's happened. Roki Sasaki. Now, last year, he wanted to come to the MLB. He wanted to join Yama and go into the MLB at the same time. He wanted to go with him. His club denied him the possibility to be
Yeah.
posted to the MLB teams. And they're allowed to do that. Japanese teams, they have that decision. They can keep them or let them go. And apparently this time around, Roki wanted to go once again, especially seeing Yamamoto win the World Series year 1. He's like, all right, I'm definitely coming now. Like, I cannot wait any longer. I need to play for them. But his team said no again. So Everett, what did Roki Sasaki do? He resigned from his contract with the Japanese team. He released himself, bought himself out, and he will be joining MLB international signing pool. This is where it gets very devious, Everett. Roki Sasaki is at a certain age. I don't know what the age number is. I think it's
23.
24. Okay, 23.
23.
Oh, he is 23?
I believe he is 23.
Okay, then this might make sense. I believe if you are either 24 and younger, or actually, I think it's if you're 25 and older and you are posted from an international league to the MLB, then you are a free agent. And so that's why Yamamoto was just paid $350 million. He was technically a free agent. But if you are under 25 or under 24, I forget what the age limit is.
Just
regardless, Roki Sasaki is under that age. If you are under that age, then you are not eligible for free agency. You are treated like a prospect being called up. So Everett, that means Roki Sasaki is going to be a Dodger. And Roki Sasaki is going to be earning $800,000 this upcoming year.
Does he get ARB? Do we get to put him on ARB too?
Everett, he hits ARB in 3 years. Everett.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying so he gets ARB. It's not hitting, like a free agent.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying he's not like a traditional free agent where it is like free agency.
He's treat him as if he's been in our farm system for the last 5 years and we just called him up. That's how he's going to be treated. And if that's the case, Everett, we're about to add. Now, this is from Jeff Passan. I haven't watched any Roki Sasaki tapes, so I'm not going to act like I know for fact.
We both know somebody who probably has. So
according to Passan, from what he's heard from scouts believe Roki Sasaki has the nastiest stuff on earth today.
Yeah, I saw he has a forkball.
I know what I'm going to do this afternoon now. Thank you for telling me that. I will look into that and report. But Everett, he's going to be a Dodger. He's going to come to LA. He's going to be making $800,000, not just this year, but next year. And not just next year, but the year after that. He's going to be making $800,000 to pitch as if he was a $30 million pitcher. So this is where baseball gets unfair, and teams are going to start bitching about Dodgers money. And guys, the key to the ring, you need the big name guys, don't get me wrong, but you need guys at that back end of the lineup making $800K jack shit, making nothing. You're robbing them. You're robbing them of what they... Tommy Edman. And it's those guys that you're literally fleecing so hard for the output they're giving.
Hey, I will just say,
that's how you win World Series. You need those cheap guys too.
Mookie's coming back to the infield. He's taking second base, right? That's
another
Willie Adames is, I think the Mets already offered him $160 million or something. There's no reason to sign a shortstop when we have Miggy and Tommy, right?
Rojas is good. Tommy.
So that gets interesting.
The one thing I'll say about Willie Adames, go on.
We did extend a qualifying offer to Teo. All right. This is where it gets interesting though. Got Soto on the market. Teo's still on the market. You've got all these guys that could technically go in there, or you could use Lux and trade for somebody.
Yeah, we could. Hey, and the way the 40-man's looking right now, and what you just brought up, I want to really
PK also could play back there.
Mookie, the plan is to move him to second, guys. That should be a massive red flag to the rest of the MLB. Why are you moving your right fielder Mookie Betts to second? The Dodgers are all in on Soto right now. That's what that means, everybody.
Soto, I did just see a report. Soto has a scheduled meeting with one of the top bidders, I believe, tomorrow.
Yeah, and so this is the other interesting thing. And we talked about this a lot last year, but I want to hone in a little bit more. Last offseason, Scott Boras had like one of his biggest off seasons of his agent career. He had so many massive guys up for free agency, Soto was out there. Well, he got traded. He didn't really count. Snell was out there. Jordan Montgomery was out there. He had a bunch of big name guys. Cody Bellinger, two windows ago, and Boris whiffed so hard on his guys. And if I were to imagine, hey, it's Bellinger. The Dodgers were obviously talking a lot with Bellinger on an extension. And the Dodgers just looked Boris in the eyes and they're just like, dude, you're crazy. We're not paying him that much. Like, you're absurd. And my thoughts were, now Soto, this is Boris's big payday right here. Soto. I was thinking, hey, after getting scorched last year, being mad not getting your guys the results they wanted, I thought maybe he might be willing to take a slight step back with Soto. And I was thinking that, but now I'm like flipping and it's like, no. He just had an awful window. Now Boris needs to like reestablish himself and like he's going to get Soto the biggest bag possible. Like that's what's going to happen.
Guess who can afford it?
And that is the thing for us. Like, this is one thing. All of our guys are deferred. Like pretty much everyone is deferred. And because of that, in terms of actual like money being paid to the players today by Guggenheim, it's like not that much.
No.
And so part of me thinks that maybe the Dodgers give Soto a crazy one, Everett. Like I'm talking like a 600 million 13, 14-year deal. And that's the one contract that isn't deferred. That's the one contract.
Yeah, I mean, also you can't afford to defer things because in 10 years from now, the money's going to be paid back. Like it's not.
Yeah, I'm just, I wonder though how they're looking at it, because Ohtani's essentially the whole contract is deferred. I mean, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going through their mind.
It does get like
they're all in on
Dodgers
Soto.
are loaded up with Roki Sasaki now being an international prospect and not a free agent. But it also greatly opens up the window for the Dodgers to actually add somebody. And originally speaking, you and I have talked about, hey, we need the money for Roki, right? Like you can't send the money for Roki. You're not going to have money for something else. Now that's open, it's not a problem. The Dodgers are going to be like, the Dodgers could get Teo back and more. Like that's the thing.
No, like, hey, if we don't get Soto, it's like I expect Teo and like a big name arm. Like now I heard Corbin Burns the second we won the World Series.
Yeah, he did.
Corbin Burns tweeted Dodgers eye emojis. He's Bakersfield guy, SoCal-ish area. He likes the Dodgers. He wants to come home. But I've been hearing Everett. He's gonna get over 200 million, and I think he deserves that. I think Burns is very good. He does deserve over that. And I don't think we're gonna give out 3 8-figure contracts to pitchers. I don't think we're gonna do that.
No, definitely. I think it's more likely we're gonna give somebody a hitter. Plus, keep in mind, like we got guys coming back too that were hurt. Like
the
relievers, the corner outfield. Trying will come back, but like the relievers are going to be the thing. We're going to go back into the bullpen.
That's another thing. Like if we can add Roki as an arm in the starting pitching, and we also had this guy Ohtani too. Remember, guys, he's added to the rotation next year.
Kershaw come back. That's 3. Glasnow's back. That's 4. We do want a 6-man rotation though. Yamamoto's 5.
Yeah, so but like 6? we are deep. Like just in terms of other guys just currently on roster, like we've got arms.
I guess either it's going to be Dustin May or Gonzo, and the other one's going to the bullpen. But we still have Sheehan. Like them two, we still have River Ryan. We still have Stone. Bobby,
Stone's out for the year, and I think River Ryan is too.
Sheehan.
Forget about that though. We won the World Series. It's all right. Forget about those.
It's fine.
Forget about those.
It's all right. It's all right.
They're out for the year, but that's all right.
But yeah, speculation. All right, we'll see what happens. Free agency is underway. We'll keep our eye on it. But
I'd like to add another big arm, but I don't think we could be dishing out 200 million to Burns.
To be honest, I mean, I don't give a fuck about it. I don't care about a big arm.
I'm already slightly regretting the Glass now move. It's like I
Yeah.
knew signing up for it's like, dude, the guy's never pitched like over
Well,
120
if you get
innings in
enough
his
guys,
life.
if you get enough guys, and it's a 6-man rotation, it will
I
limit the strain on
genuinely
him.
believe let's
And
not let him start pitching until after the All-Star break. I'm dead
no, literally,
ass
that is
because we need him in the
also possible. If
playoffs.
you have all these guys coming back, like you can really limit
Yeah.
how often
And
those guys have to pitch.
the key thing is we don't need Glasnow to clinch the 1 seed in the West. We
No,
don't need him to pitch in the regular season. We need him to pitch in October, though.
no.
So,
But yeah, with
it's a
that,
thought. It's a
thank you guys
thought.
so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterboy Pod. You can follow me and Grant on Twitter at Everett and at Waterboy Grant. We post new episodes every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Make sure to check us out there so you don't miss a single episode. We also post exclusive content on TikTok and on Instagram, so make sure to check out that as well. And with that, we'll see you guys next episode. Waterboys out.